Downtown, a community's premier showplace or eyesore.
A place of commerce or economic decline.
A city's urban oasis or no man's land.
Communities across the nation are confronting this issue every day.
Mesa citizens saw the potential for our downtown to become a center for commerce, beauty, and social activities. The result? A visionary process called Downtown Mesa Tomorrow.
Downtown Mesa Tomorrow began with the Mesa Redevelopment Advisory Board, a citizen panel which recognized the ability to go beyond the physical planning of projects and instead build a downtown community valued and enjoyed by all our residents and neighboring communities. The efforts of the Advisory Board, along with the wholehearted support of the Mesa City Council, gave Downtown Mesa Tomorrow the vehicle it needed to move forward. But the fuel to drive this process can only come from community involvement. Over 1,000 citizens helped in the creation of the vision, including senior citizens, business owners, and school children who were asked to share their vision artistically, as well as residents outside of downtown.
Visioning is different from traditional planning programs which generally focus on physical projects. Visioning emphasizes shared values representing community standards and needs in the broadest sense. Downtown Mesa Tomorrow is a collective vision that began with a town meeting where participants shared their views, both positive and negative. Many citizens recognized Mesa's downtown educational and cultural facilities as a major asset. Others believed factors such as location, climate, accessibility, water supply, and the city-owned utility would aid in development. Still others identified the importance of Mesa's small-town character, but believed it could be jeopardized by growth, even though they were equally concerned by the decline of activity and lack of commitment to downtown. With citizen input documented, a second meeting brought forth key principal and organizational points. People wanted downtown Mesa to be diverse, close-knit, locally owned, modest in scale, and return to leadership of the East Valley.
11 task forces were established to address the values participants identified as important to the creation of a new city center, a place to live, to work, to shop. They wanted it to be a cultural and recreational center, with an emphasis on children and youth, and a place for senior citizens and winter visitors. They wanted to make downtown more attractive to professional firms. Equally important, City Center must serve the interests of minorities, support and encourage local business, and address transportation and parking issues. Finally, City Center must be self-supporting with its own tax base and revenues.
7 shared values came out of the task force reports: an emphasis on the pedestrian, a variety of activities and entertainment, local ownership is crucial, housing should provide opportunities for all, water must be used creatively to enhance the quality of life. Guiding all city center projects is the need for environmental responsibility. City Center's energy district is a powerful tool for new development. As the success of downtown grows, city center boundaries expand, and design guidelines continue to reflect the scale and character that is so important to downtown's identity.
Before we vision the future, let's see what we can learn from our past and present. The history of Mesa is an unfolding of visions. About 500 years ago, the Hohokam visioned turning arid desert into fertile land. Through strong cooperative effort, an elaborate system of irrigation canals was created, transforming the region into a flourishing agrarian center.
Later, wagon maker Henry Rogers had a vision. As part of a group of Mormon pioneers sent to establish a new settlement, Rogers saw his new community emerging alongside a clear stream and a row of large cottonwoods. What would ultimately become Arizona's third largest city began humbly in the spring of 1877 as Fort Utah.
At the turn of the century, Mesa was a town 1 square mile in size with a grand population of 800. A new vision emerged. The Salt River Water Users Association was formed with the purpose of taming the flow of the capricious Salt River. A year and a half later, the construction of Roosevelt Dam began. Being closest to the construction site, Mesa became the supply center for the dam. Commerce, industry, and even tourism thrived.
Another vision was realized in 1931. With the dedication of the train station, Mesa now had a bona fide transportation link. By 1960, the population had grown to 34,000. Community leaders excited about the rapid growth began talking about their vision for the future. But few could imagine that only 3 decades later, Mesa's population would explode 900% to 300,000.
Today, Mesa continues to be one of the fastest growing cities in the U.S. It's the only large city in the state without a property tax, making it attractive to businesses and residents. But like all modern cities, we face issues that cannot be ignored, such as downtown revitalization.
Mesa's downtown has had its vitality and life drained away to newer areas. This once proud social, business, and commercial center seems to have lost its direction and purpose. Some even say that downtown is dead and better laid to rest. It's a prophecy that can be self-fulfilling unless we recognize the problem and act now.
The cornerstone of a new city center is its ability to produce revenue. A successful, productive city center will generate income. For example, the city-owned electric utility revenues currently contribute $20 million to Mesa's general fund. Imagine what it could produce through a unified vision.
Like the settlers whose visions were built on the vision of the Hohokam, we too can build on the visions of the past. Our city center will reflect the positive social and cultural values that formed our community. Our vision is limited only by our imagination. The vision transformation recalls the best of the past with all the possibilities of the future. The symbolic heart of our community is City Center, which represents in spirit the original square mile laid out by our founders. Country Club to Mesa Drive, University to Broadway. But the boundaries of the vision today include a greater area. And when we talk about City Center, we're talking about more than just business. We're talking about residential, recreational, educational, and religious elements.
Let's explore Mesa City Center in the year 2020 and see how today's vision was achieved, how thoughtful long-range master planning transformed downtown into a successful urban mixed-use area. But remember, what you see is only a vision, a suggestion of what might be.
Let's begin our tour at home. City Center features an innovative residential component. Single and multi-family dwellings are arranged in a park-like setting. The residences serve the cultural, economic, and individual diversity of the community. It's a place where neighbors really do know each other. Many historic homes have been preserved to ensure Mesa's rich heritage. In fact, the annual house tour has become one of City Center's most successful charity fundraisers. At the heart of the residential district is our town lake. It's part of a revolutionary system in which reclaimed water is recirculated and ultimately reconsumed. It serves as an ideal spot for conversation, contemplation, a picnic, swim, or even some fishing. Not surprising, it's become the social center of the residential district.
In 2020, preventive medicine is a way of life. Exercise is a health and social must. Parkways and bike paths shaded by day, well lit at night abound and serve as a major connective to all the elements of City Center. Because travel within the area is so inviting, many walk, jog, rollerblade, or ride a bicycle just for the fun of it. Cyclists even have lockers available so that bicycles may be safely stored. The automobile, that most revered icon of the 20th century, no longer dominates our lives. Yes, we still use them, but our high-tech, synthetic-fueled vehicles are much better suited for long-distance journeys rather than inner-city travel. Besides, public transportation has come a long way since the 20th century. From innovative water transit to jitneys and trolleys, our traffic moves efficiently and quietly.
Every spring, a cross-country antique car race starts in downtown. By the way, that's a 1948 Buick all ready for the race. For travel within the city and to nearby communities, hop on board the commuter rail. Just behind the depot is the transit center, which is the embarkation point for a ride on the high-speed magnetic levitation rail that will whisk you to a destination as far away as Glendale or Sun City in less than 15 minutes.
The commercial district has become the pulse of downtown. Many residents choose to live here because work is just around the corner. Because of the nearby transit center, downtown also has a strong appeal to commuters. The district has a large employment base. City of Mesa and other government offices are here. A number of medium-sized companies find City Center an ideal home. We've got high-tech research, banking, legal, financial, and medical activities, even some light manufacturing. Most firms provide in-house daycare. Just another reason working in City Center is so popular.
The commercial district also includes a very successful retail center. Antiques are so popular in downtown that everyone is now trying to keep that fact their little secret. Most businesses are locally owned. Many are mom and pops, which reflect the talent and energy of their owners. City Center still has a small town feel, but with much diversity. Some say the area has taken on a European character. There's sidewalk cafes, gourmet markets, delis, and groceries. By night, restaurants, bistros, and cabarets are alive with activity. People come from all over the valley to experience City Center's nightlife. The marketplace is another thread in the marvelous tapestry of life that is Mesa City Center. Here you discover an old-fashioned farmer's market, a Mexican village, and artisans daily display their latest creative works while street performers showcase their talents.
Cultural diversity is continually celebrated in City Center. Public art gives life and character to our community, much of it created to serve as a symbolic link with our past. Festivals, started in the 20th century, are now nationally recognized. The Indian Powwow celebrates Native American culture. Cinco de Mayo recalls Arizona's Spanish and Mexican heritage. Then there's the fantastic Arizona Shakespeare Festival and the world-renowned Arizona Museum of Mexican Art. Art, music, theater are flourishing.
With leisure as such an important and healthful part of our quality of life, we have within City Center a championship golf course, year-round tennis, exciting water activities, and recreational diversions for youth. Baseball and spring training still contributes.
There's so much more we could share with you, like the environmental amenities that utilize solar technology, or how reclaimed and recycled water is used in attractive and cooling water features, or how thoughtful planning has resulted in low water use landscaping.
Or how about the support services that keep the area clean and safe at all hours? And best of all, City Center has become so successful that it is self-supporting and even makes more money for the city.
But there isn't any more time. After all, this is only a vision, the vision of an inspiring future waiting to happen.
But first, we really have to ask, do we accept more vacant storefronts, blighted neighborhoods, vehicle congestion, and inner-city social problems?
Or do we take control of our future and implement the shared vision, thereby refocusing community values and revitalizing City Center economically, physically, socially, and culturally?
The choice is obvious. We must keep the dream alive. Citizens through the Vision Action Team will be the keeper of the vision. Through strong community commitment, that means you and I, government support, public and private partnerships, thoughtful planning, and with a sincere desire to make it happen, anything and everything is possible. Even Mesa City Center.